So you made a rather surprising and dramatic comeback in 1994. You shocked a lot of people with how you skated. And in 1994, when you were coming back, you reflected upon your earlier career and you told USA Today that I felt that when I lost my national championship, my life was over. I had been put down a lot for my weight. So many people were saying, you're a has-been. You're never going to amount to anything. The worst of these comments came when my father looked at me and said, look at what kind of world champion you turned out to be. So what was your relationship like with your father during that time, and what is it like now?
At 1994?
Yes, coming back.
Okay. Coming back really was for a lot of reasons. I think because the fact that I did not feel that I accomplished everything I wanted to do. When I ended my career, Katarina went on to do another Olympics, and I actually wanted to also, but I had contracts, I had to do shows, I had to go to the ice capades. So to me, I definitely feel like I didn't finish when I wanted to. I was forced to. So I really love skating. I love competing. And when I heard that you could reinstate, that was so motivating to me to be the first person to do something like that. And so I took advantage, knowing that watching the girls in 1993 nationals, it wasn't such a great nationals, and I did think that there wasn't really anybody that was that great. And to me, I felt like I could do what they were doing. I could do 5 triples in my program. So, and it also, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to lose weight, get myself back in shape, and be the first person, again, to do something different. And at 28 years old, who would ever think somebody could do that? And I knew in my heart that I could do that if I really wanted to, and I had to believe it. So I reinstated, not really knowing if I could do it. You had to do it in April, and then in June, the New York Times, Chicago Tribune, they were all calling me, talking about how I'm coming back, and I'm like, I'm not ready yet, because I always thought I could say, okay, I'm like by August maybe I'm not going to do it. But I was like kind of pushed into it, and everybody's like, oh my God, this world champion's coming back at 28, nobody's ever done it. And I really, for the fact that I wanted women to stay in longer than 18 years old and not quit because there has been, and I think girls are now staying in because of what I did, staying in until it's 28. Now girls are staying in until 23, 24, which I think I got better as I got older. And let me tell you, it was torturous for the fact that so many people, even my own coaches, my own father, said that I was never going to do it. Never. And I even remember my coach, Peter Burrows, saying to me, I was like, I lost 10 pounds. He goes, really? In which leg? Like, I just couldn't believe it. And he wasn't really coaching me, but he was somebody in my life for so many years that I was like hoping I'd get some encouragement from, and I didn't. And I just kind of embraced that, to know that this is what people really think of me, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't remembered that way. I wanted to, again, show people no matter what I do, I'm going to show that you can go back 10 years later and do better than you did in 84. So also my mentor at that time was one of the pair skaters that was at our rink, Kala Urbanski, and she was around 28 herself, and she was the national pair champion doing triple toe loops, and saying to me, Elaine, you should be doing like 5 triples right now. And I was like, you're right, I should. And I got encouragement from other skaters, so that's what helped me. Knowing that after I did my first triple, I was like, okay, if I can do that, I can do another one. And then to even try my triple loop, which I really didn't even do in the 80s, and landing that, it was just like so glorifying. And no matter whether I won or I lost, just to come back and be able to do what I did 10 years before again, it was a dream come true. The feeling I got was just incredible.
It's wonderful. And what is your relationship? Do you have a relationship with your father or your coach today?
No, I do not have any relationship really with any of them. I do feel that It's amicable. I don't think that I want in my life now to have any negativity around me. I'm guarded. I don't feel that I have any animosity towards them, but I don't really feel that I need to have anyone, especially a male figure, control or get to me. And I think if in 94 I wasn't really put in a place that I was happy, that I don't think that it's something I want to have anymore in my life. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, but my father feels the same way. I haven't talked to him in many years, but it's something that I think he has issues with. He doesn't know how to acknowledge me as a daughter. It's always been a skater. He's always looked at me as such. So to me, I really don't blame him, but that's all he knew. But I can't live my life with somebody just thinking of me as a skater. I want them to appreciate me as a person, especially my father, as a daughter. And so to this day, I haven't gotten that. So that's the reason why, you know, things haven't worked out, not the way I want them to be worked out. But I do think it's for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I used a lot of the energy that I felt I needed in my life when I went out there and I was nervous. I took a lot of that energy and used it so I wasn't really scared anymore. And I said, I'm going to do this because I'm not going to let people talk bad about me. And it all came back to the same thing with my childhood. I'm not going to let anybody look at me in a different way. I wanted to show people that I could do it. So when the negativity and the fear came in, I was like, no, don't let it. So it worked to my favor. And I do think in life things happen for a reason.
I love that. I think that's perfect. So in 94, that is an infamous national championship because of the attack on Nancy Kerrigan. And I think so many people are probably wondering, as a competitor in that event, where were you when the attack took place? And at the time, did you suspect that Tonya Harding had anything to do with it?
I love talking about this. This is one of my favorite moments of my comeback because what a year I chose to come back. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, and he was never really introduced to the skating world too much. His sister skated but never made it to that high of a level. That's how we met, and I wanted him to see me in a very high level of skating, so that was one of the reasons I came back also. He was very inspiring to me. So he was with me carrying my bags to the locker room for my warm-up, and we were in Group C, and Tonya was in Group A, and Nancy was in Group B. So I was in C. You always go there at least like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before your practice. And it just so happens that when Nancy got hit, it was at the end of her practice, and it was about 20 minutes prior to my practice. And we see people screaming, and we hear it, and John was like, why are these people running around, like running past? We really now think like the guy who did it was running right past us, and we didn't know it. But we get the question all the time, like, why didn't you get the guy? But we never thought, you know, this would be somebody who get downstairs into the practice arena. But all I kept thinking was, oh my God, why is Nancy crying like so bad? Like, did she fall and get, you know, hurt? We didn't think of it as anything else. But then I went into the locker room, and then I never really knew. I had just come back. So I'm 28, and I'm in a room with like 16, 17, 18-year-olds saying, I think Tonya Harding did it. She's really the one. I'm like, really? Everybody knew it. And I was like, you're kidding me, really? And they're like, yes, you did it. Somebody hit Nancy, and it has to be Tonya or somebody. And I was like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, bringing back the memories of Rosalind. You know, you have these thoughts. Like, you would love to see them not in the competition. It would be so easy. But never would I ever put a hit on. But these girls really in 94 knew what was going on. And so to me, it was like unbelievable. And I couldn't even practice. I went out for my practice, and I was like, oh my God, I'm next. I thought, okay, I'm the world champion, national champion, and somebody's putting it out. So I couldn't even jump. I couldn't even spin. I was like, I don't even want to be out here because nobody knew who did it. So it was just incredible. The whole thing, the whole year coming back was not only for the craziness that went on, and then I had to do interviews about it and sharing the ice in the warm up with her, you know, in the long program. It was very, you know, enduring but scary at some points because she is a special person that I've never seen in the sport.
I love special. She's a special person.
Like, we were on Maury Povich, me and Mark Mitchell, and he was like, Elaine, you're not going to say anything bad because if you do, you know she's coming after you. And I'm like, I didn't even think, like, I'm not going to say anything bad, but, you know, like, she does come down the ice like she's out for blood. Like, you know, she's intimidating. And, you know, even the guys were thinking, like, I'm not going to say anything bad because she might put a hit on me. You know, it was kind of comical, but I couldn't believe the way people were thinking.
That is so crazy. It's so, I just love hearing about this because so many people, myself included, we got into the sport at that time, and we don't know, like Tanya, because she was out of the sport after. She just, yeah, she does sound very special. So when you look back on your comeback in '94, how does that compare to winning your national and your world title?
I have to say, I loved winning my worlds. I loved winning my nationals, but I have to say I had the most joy coming back, getting 2 standing ovations in 1994, skating a clean short and a clean long. I absolutely cannot tell you the feeling I had as a person, as a ex-champion, the glory that I had with the audience, with the emotional desire to prove to people at 28 you can do what it was more that was so gratifying than to get a medal wrapped around your neck. But I did also get a medal. I didn't even know because when I was in the 80s, you didn't get 4th place medal. And then I come back in 94, they're like, get ready, you're getting a medal. I'm like, oh, I got the pewter medal. I didn't even know they had that. And I had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I'm like, this completes my collection. I had every single medal. To me, you know, it was just so special. I can't tell you. If anybody ever wants to come back, do it because it's so gratifying whether you win or not.
I love that pewter medal. I have co-hosts that threw theirs out in disgust.
Hey!
But,
that's a secret. It's somewhere in the
actual the Radex pin on a special chain. That sterling silver Radex pin. All the others are gold, but that one is special to me. I put it on a special necklace, and you know, it really, you know, it does mean a lot. And then to have this year have Jimmy Ma get the pewter medal, it brings back. It's not only the fact that, you know, they played after the award ceremony this year. We are the champion, and they all are. To be the top 4 in the country is incredible, and there's only a very select few that do that, and that meant the world to him. Even if he never medals again, but to get that 4th place, it was just he was in awe of, like, just the whole audience, the whole scene of being on the podium and being in that special place.